Draw My Odyssey by Ryann, Storch, and Deeba Vafai. As Odysseus took pride in his achievement by defeating the Cyclops, him and his men sailed off into the orange sunset. Spending a day with no resources, Odysseus and his men were cold and desperate for help. Men were as pale as snow while there was frost growing on their eyebrows. He suddenly saw a shiny reflection in the corner of his eye, which then he stood up and saw an island. "Get up! I think I have found a lifelong fortune for us. Sail towards Covergirl Island. We are going to be rich," said Odysseus. His men were so excited they scattered the boat like ants.
Once they started to arrive, there were long broken pieces of pallet mirrors that shredded the bottom of the boat and stabbed holes which made it slowly sink. Odysseus and his men got to shore on time, before it completely sunk. Once they jumped off the boat, the sand was red as a precious ruby jewel. "This is unusual sand. It's too soft and powdery. How peculiar. It doesn't even look like sand," Odysseus announced. "I honestly feel as if it's exactly like the eyeshadow stuff that my wife uses," one of his men added. Odysseus looked around for the bright and sparkly light that led him to the island. He turned his face to see a woman sitting on the edge of the water. The perimeter of her face glowed bright like the gold he believed he had detected. She wore a tight dress made out of latex that seemed like it could almost suffocate the curves of her body. Her long black hair was lifted and carried by the wind, while her lips puffed out as if it was an allergic reaction.
"What is your name, and what is on your face?" Your luscious reflection created a hallucination that persuaded me and my men into thinking it was our future wealth, Odysseus detected. "I am Caleb Genifique. What you are simply mistaken for is highlight. You shouldn't be here, though. My sister kept messing up our eyeliner this morning and has been on a rant ever since." "That's ridiculous. She shouldn't have to make her so-called eyeliner her number one issue and priority for the day. My men and I need resources to fix our ship since your island caused damage to it," he threatened. Odysseus signaled his men to start walking into the Covergirl jungle. The path was laid out with sheets of waxing paper that stuck to their legs and feet. There were bushes made out of eyebrow puckers with red lipstick-stained leaves dangling above them. Hair extension vines wrapped around the trees like slithering snakes. Odysseus and his men struggled to tear off the sticky waxing paper since it felt like their own flesh and bone was ripping off with it.
Shortly they discovered a small spring that had water as blue as a sparkling topaz. There were sweet-scented powdery rocks of different radiant colors that surrounded the steam rising off the water. "Quick, my men, jump in! It will keep us warm, and will help rip this cruel paper off of our delicate leg hairs," shouted Odysseus. The men rapidly jumped in with no hesitation. The paper glided off as smoothly as skates on slippery ice. Odysseus raised his head from the water as soon as he felt something trembling. The rocks created cloudy, colorful diffusion that would spread fast like the panic in their bones. They peeked through the steam and glimpsed at a curvy figure. Her shadow screamed with an irritated nasally voice. "I am perfect-winged Camonia Kardashiq. Who do you think you are trying to invade my land?"
"I am Odysseus, and these are my men. Your sister's glowing makeup attracted us to your island. Your sharp mirror shredded holes into my ship, and I need to get resources to fix it so I can continue my journey back to my wife and son," he replied. She threw a strange translucent powder that got into their eyes. The men's eyes started to turn bloodshot while purple bags slowly appeared underneath. They fell into a floating like deep sleep while Camonia ordered her sister Caleb to carry the bodies to a secret room. Once Odysseus and his men woke up, they looked around the room to see different types of organized ombre. Camonia was staring at him with an evil eye. "You must complete a task that only the most skillful mortals can attain. You must be able to draw a perfect and symmetrical winged eyeliner. Perfect eyeliner is the most essential thing in the world, and there's nothing else that we should have our attention on," declared Camonia. Camonia brought out a model named Kendall Genifique. Odysseus practiced on his arms, but his hands were not steady. Unexpectedly, he caught red-lipped Aphrodite's voice. "Use the tape as a stencil. I am skillful in all things involving eyeliner wings. I am the goddess of beauty, of course." Odysseus grabbed the tape, lined it up evenly on both sides of the eyes to create a delicate wing. He took the eyeliner and skillfully traced the eyeliner across the tape. However, he had a clever idea and pondered.
If I rip the tape off quick, it should hurt her enough to cry and for Camonia to get distracted while taking care of her. We could run from this island and never return again. Odysseus used his great strength and tore off the tape. He could have sworn he saw some skin peel off with it. The wings appeared to be perfect as Camonia described. However, Kendall screamed in agony while tears rolled down her face. Camonia ran to her aid and lifted her face to closely observe the issue. The liner was smudged and ruined by Kendall's tears. Odysseus and his men escaped very quiet like mice, but scattered fast like ants. As they ran through the wax-papered path, 2 of his men stumbled into an eyebrow plucker bush and were too wounded to budge. As Odysseus hesitantly withdrew them, he located the ship. He used the tape to patch the holes and they quickly sailed away. Big gusts of wind pounded the boat and shifted in different directions. Nevertheless, Odysseus continued to head back to Ithaca, holding eyeliner as a small gift from his journey to bring home to Penelope.